Hello and welcome to this course, and this is the basic overview of the course which we are going to go through. So the first thing or the first section of this course is going to be on installing the required tools which we need to have in order to run our applications and in order to produce our applications. So basically in the first section we'll be going through all the necessary tools which we will be needing to write the code for our Android application and to successfully execute it. Now moving along to the second section of our course, which is to design user interface for your application, we are going to learn all the techniques which can be used in order to design the UI. So basically we are going to learn what are buttons, what are edit text, how to design the UI, how to design the home screen and all those kinds of things. Now the next thing which we study in this course are going to be the event handlers or the basic techniques to handle events. So an event is nothing but whenever the user clicks or interacts with the interface, our application should react in a certain way. So this section is going to cover all the event handlers which we are going to need to successfully run our application. Then moving along, to save the user data in our application, we'll be studying the databases, how we could use database in order to save the user data in our Android application. Now after having an extensive study about the database, we are going to create a simple database application so as to save the user data which could be accessed later on. After that we are going to study how we could apply filters to image. So we are going to make a simple application which is a kind of filter application which applies a filter to our images. This part of the course covers the multimedia part in which we are going to learn how to work with images and all that kinds of things. Now next thing which we do is that in order to revise all of our concepts, we are going to build a simple application which is called as the Workouts Advisor, and in that application we'll be learning what is the basic procedure while we create an application. Then finally in the end of the course we'll have a basic introduction to game development, which platform is used for game development, and we'll be going through the libgdx platform for developing Android two-dimensional games. Tools needed. So these are some of the basic tools which we are going to need for this course. So the first tool which you need is going to be the Android Studio, and Android Studio is an integrated development environment for producing the Android applications. Android Studio makes it easy for us to write the code, compile it and run it on the emulator. So for development purposes we'll be using Android Studio. Now after Android Studio, one more thing which is required is going to be the Java JDK, and we are going to connect the Java JDK to the Android Studio so that we could develop applications and we could run them. Then finally, in order to actually run our applications, in order to test them, we are going to use an Android emulator which we'll have inbuilt in the Android Studio, which we'll be using in order to run our applications and to test them. Now I would also like to mention that for this course you will be needing a PC with minimum of 4 GB of RAM so that you would be able to run the emulator efficiently. And if you have a PC with a RAM less than 4 GB, then I would recommend you to run your applications on the actual device. And also you need to have an Android device. For some of the applications which we are going to write, we are exclusively going to run them on our device. So make sure that you have an Android device with you so that you could run some of the applications which we are going to discuss on your device. Prerequisites. Now before starting the course, make sure that you have basic understanding of Java. So you should be familiar with the concepts of class, objects and inheritance. You don't need to have an in-depth knowledge about it, but a basic level of understanding is required. So enjoy the course.